Ladies and gentlemen, our presentation will begin shortly. As a courtesy to our presenters and other members of the audience, please take this moment to switch all electronic devices to silent mode. Thank you.
Почитувани гледачи на НТВМК, започнува конференција
His name is Yuma Sorianto. He's from Australia, and he's just 10 years old.
Јума Соријанто е 10-годишниот австралијанец кој е и денеска присутен на овој настан на Apple. Тој е воедно и најмладиот, како што вели Тим Кук, девелопер кој работи за компанијата.
I met Yuma yesterday and I can't wait to see what he's going to accomplish next. And while we've got some great up-and-coming developers like Yuma, we've got some that got a bit of a later start. Masako Wakamiya is just 82 years old, and she's from Japan, and she published her first app earlier this year. So,
Дека технологијата не познава години е и 80-годишната Хашика од Јапонија, која на 80-годишна возраст е девелопер за Apple и ја пуштила во употреба својата прва апликација. Со ова Apple и директорот Тим Кук сакаат да посочат дека технологијата на вистина не познава граници. Сега се најавуваат новите оперативни системи за телевизијата, за Apple TV уредите, Mac компјутерите, паметните часовници на Apple и iPhone оперативните системи за iPod, iPad и iPhone-ите на Apple.
To change the world. That's why this developer conference is so important. Now, we have a lot to talk about today, and I do mean a lot. So I'm dispensing with the updates other than to tell you Apple's doing great. We have 6 important announcements to share with you this morning.
Денеска ќе бидат представени 6 важни објави, а првата се однесува на телевизискиот оперативен систем кој користи Apple TV.
Apple TV, iPhone and iPad to create the easiest way to discover and enjoy your TV content from across your video channels all in one convenient place. We launched it with support from just a handful of video channels, but now we have 50 partners integrated into the TV app. And today, we're really thrilled to announce that Amazon is coming to the TV app and all Apple TVs later this year.
Apple најавува и доаѓање на Prime Video преку Amazon апликацијата на нивните Apple TV уреди. Тоа е една од новостите кои доаѓаат со обновениот оперативен систем на Apple телевизорите, на Apple TV уредите.
And so much more. We are so pleased to welcome Amazon to Apple TV. So that's tvOS. You'll be hearing a lot more about tvOS later this year. Number 2, let's talk about Apple Watch.
Втората работа за која ќе стане збор на овој настан е Apple паметните часовници, поточно софтверот кој го користат тие. Според Apple, тоа е број 1 паметен часовник по бројките на продажба, по бројот на продадени часовници. И број 1 по задоволство на купувачите. Според Тим Кук, Apple часовниците се дизајнирани да помогнат на луѓето во секојдневниот живот и да поттикнат фитнес активности, помагајќи ги способностите на сите оние кои го користат.
We've got some exciting updates to the watchOS. And to take you through them, I'd like to invite Kevin Lynch up. Kevin?
Кевин Линча ќе не води низ новостите кои доаѓаат на оперативниот систем за часовниците.
So watchOS is moving forward really quickly, and I'm very excited to introduce watchOS 4 today. This furthers the areas that people love and also introduces new ways to make the watch more personal to you. Let's start with watch faces. Now, Apple Watch is great for quickly glancing at information, and many people are using a watch face like this today. And now you need to choose what information shows up here. So for example, weather, calendar, and workouts, or maybe you'd like to look at the date and reminders and sunset. The information that you'd like to see actually varies based on time and your location and your routines. What if we could actually show you a selection of information that you might need automatically? Well, Siri is becoming more and more a proactive assistant, knowing what information you need when you need it. And we've created a new watch face which is powered by Siri intelligence. This is the new Siri watch face. Now it automatically displays the information that's most relevant to you, and you can also access Siri just by tapping on the new complication on the top left. And it automatically displays this information with the same type of intelligence we've applied on iOS. We're using machine learning to adapt automatically based on your routines and the apps that you use when you use them. So in the morning I might see, for example, commute time and my first...
Преку воведување на новости во оперативниот систем за часовниците ќе се постигне, како што велат од Apple, подобра интеграција на Siri и преку обнова на визуелниот дел на часовниците кои служат, чија главна функција е покажување на времето, ќе се поедностави начинот на кој луѓето го користат овој производ на Apple, односно паметните часовници, за закажување на различни настани и за добивање на најважните информации кои се важни за корисникот. Тоа е сето тоа е интегрирано, како што велат од Apple, во новиот Siri дел на паметните часовници.
It displays a beautiful symmetrical pattern that slowly changes throughout the day. And you can rotate the crown and you can get this kind of trippy effect whenever you want. And there's multiple styles you can choose from. So for example, if you use a photo like this, you can create a variety of kaleidoscope styles. This is the new kaleidoscope face. Now, Mickey and Minnie have been a big hit on Apple Watch, and more characters have been working to find their way in. And I'm really excited to welcome Woody and Jessie and Buzz. They're going to be right at home inside the watch, and they're so much fun. And whenever you raise your watch with the Toy Story face, you're going to see a variety of vignettes, kind of like this. There's a lot of hijinks going on in there. So these are three really lively new faces in watchOS: Siri face, Kaleidoscope, and Toy Story. Now let's talk about activity.
Следно на што ќе се обрати внимание во преносот ќе биде начинот на кој корисниците ги користат Apple часовниците и софтверот за своите активности, вежбање и слично. Инаку Apple часовниците беа представени лани заедно со новиот iPhone 7. Поточно втората верзија на Apple часовниците. Часовниците беа насочени претежно кон оние спортисти и активни луѓе кои имаат потреба од паметна поддршка, како што тогаш беа представени, бидејќи часовниците мерат пулс, мерат стапки и лесно може да се адаптираат за потребите на сите оние спортско активни луѓе и дополнително истите се и водоотпорни. Сега преку додатниот софтвер кој се интегрира во часовниците ќе биде полесно за вежбање со мотивации, како што видовте и самите, преку анимации кои ќе ве мотивираат дополнително да се ангажирате. Како што веќе и кажавме, часовниците се водоотпорни и истите се од голема корист при спортските активности. Една од новостите е Pool Swim, односно користење часовникот при пливање, со тоа што ќе може истиот да се користи за мерење на резултатите на сите оние пливачи или триатлонци кои би го користеле овој уред на Apple. Now super easy to just swipe over during a current workout and then add another one by pressing the plus button. So you just press plus and I can continue with another workout. For example, I might do some outdoor cycling here. I just tap and I continue. Super easy now to do multiple workouts in a single session. Now many people are doing the workouts indoors at a gym. And when you use gym equipment, it has data the Apple Watch doesn't have, and the watch has data the gym equipment doesn't have. So you end up with numbers like calories and distance that don't quite match. So in watchOS 4, we've come up with a great solution to this. We're enabling, for the first time, two-way data exchange in real time with gym equipment. So you'll be able to simply tap your Apple Watch on an NFC reader on the gym equipment,
Your watch will automatically launch the workout app and you can connect. And then your heart rate is read by the watch and sent to the equipment.
Уште една од подобрувањата во однос на фитнесот кој го донесува овој часовник е и можноста која гледаме сега да се поврзува часовникот со опремата за вежбање и во спортските сали и фитнес центри. Преку производите од овие компании кои гледате на екранот и нивните справи за вежбање, со допирање на часовникот до истите ќе го вклучите режимот кој ги мери вашите резултати во фитнесот.
We're redesigning the music app on Watch to make this a really great experience. With the new music app, we're going to automatically sync music for you based on what you love to listen to. So for example, we'll automatically get your Apple Music mixes, like new music and favorites, freshly updated on your watch. And the app simply presents some beautiful album art and playlist images, and you can just navigate by rotating the digital crown. When you get to the album you like, you can just tap and play. So you can easily play your music now, and we support multiple playlists and music on the watch now. So your music that you love is going to be ready when you are, and making Apple Watch and AirPods a truly magical listening experience. That's the new music app.
Една од подобрувањата во новиот софтвер се однесува и на апликацијата за музика, преку која корисниците ќе можат полесно да се вклучат и во вежбањето, но и во слушањето на омилената музика. Сега ќе погледнеме демо на новиот оперативен систем.
I want to show you is the new dock. I can now vertically scroll through my recently used apps, like the new music app. Using the dock makes finding the apps I'm looking for easier than ever. Next, let's look at the new intelligent Siri watch face. Here in the warm morning, I could see things like the weather for today and my upcoming events. Later today, I'm heading back to San Francisco to see my parents, and in the afternoon, the Siri face will proactively update to tell me how long it'll take me to get there. Tonight, we're going to see the new Alien movie, which I'm super excited about. No one spoil it for me. For any content in the Siri face, I can tap directly into the app for more details. Here, for example, the Siri face has my tickets, so tonight I can just raise my wrist, and with one tap, they'll be ready. The Siri face also shows me timely content like photo memories and news. Here's a news headline picked for me by the brand new news app now available on Apple Watch. In the app, I can view stunning photos, glance at top news stories throughout the day, and save them for later to be read on my phone. We've also integrated our new activity coaching notifications directly into the Siri face. Now, when it's near the end of your day or you're close to closing your rings, our coaching algorithms will tell you how much you need to walk to hit your move goal. I did a lot of nervous pacing before this, so now I just need to take a 16-minute walk. Let's close those rings. We've added something new here in workout that's really cool. Music instantly gets me motivated.
Ова се веројатно дел од новости кои можеби се ситни средувања во оперативниот систем, имајќи во предвид дека истите не представуваат некое големо унапредување во однос на начинот на кој функционира часовникот на Apple. Главниот фокус е секако ставен на музиката и можноста овие часовници да репродуцираат музика. И секако главната нивна функција, а тоа е фитнесот. Понатаму, новите функционалности вклучуваат и подобрен систем на подсетници преку кој според Apple никогаш нема да го испуштите вашиот важен состанок.
Including, for example, a new flashlight in the control center, which you can also use as a blinking safety light when you're doing an evening run. There's a lot more happening here. Now, we of course have a number of updates that enable great apps by developers in watchOS, including more support for apps running in the background, faster app responsiveness, and some new UI capabilities. And we're also now supporting native core Bluetooth on the watch, which is going to enable experiences for apps that work with small devices around you. So for example, continuous glucose monitoring directly from Dexcom sensor to your watch, or Zap Tennis, which connects to a sensor on your racket for real-time swing analysis when you're playing, or Zensor, which connects your watch to your surfboard so you can actually see the height of the waves you're doing and how many calories you're burning while you're still in the water. So lots of new possibilities here for watchOS. Developer preview is available today, so you can get going. and there's a free upgrade for everyone across all watches this fall. And that's just some of what's coming in watchOS 4. Please welcome Tim back to the stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Тоа се новостите кои доаѓаат во однос на оперативниот систем кој ќе го користат Apple часовниците. Трета работа која денеска ќе видиме се однесува на Mac компјутерите. Така, според очекувањата за денешната конференција на Apple, доколку се очекувањата точни, би требало да видиме нови модели на MacBook компјутерите.
The Mac's deep integration of hardware and software. And of course, at the heart of the Mac experience is macOS. And to tell you about what's next with macOS, please welcome Craig Federighi. Craig?
Craig Federighi е личноста која ќе ни каже нешто повеќе за новиот оперативен систем на Mac. Значи, сега ќе видиме за macOS. Според она што е веќе познато, Mac оперативниот систем е суштински дел на Mac компјутерите на Apple. Тоа е затворен екосистем кој некои го сакаат, некои не го сакаат, но никој не може да оспори дека станува збор за одличен оперативен систем кој е интегриран во компјутерите на Apple, кој е одличен во однос на безбедноста, во однос на перформансите и во однос на целиот начин, односно целиот тој екосистем кој Apple сака да го воспостави.
Felt really, really good, and it's my privilege to announce for you today macOS High Sierra.
Така, претходното издание на macOS беше Sierra, сегашното издание на macOS се вика High Sierra или веројатно преводот би бил висока природа или така нешто. Но да се вратиме на суштината, а тоа е технологијата која донесува овој оперативен систем, кој во ова ново издание ќе донесе многу подобрувања во однос на начинот на кој се употребува. Станува збор за начинот на кој компјутерот ќе користи батеријата преку оперативниот систем со подобрувања во интернет прелистувачот. При тоа, осврнувајќи се и на брзината на интернет прелистувањето преку оптимизација на Safari веб пребарувачот. Според Apple, најбрзиот десктоп пребарувач во светот е токму Safari.
With the new modern version of JavaScript, ECMAScript 5, where you can see Safari delivers 80% faster performance than Chrome. Now, in addition to being tremendously fast, Safari also helps give you a serene browsing experience. Now, you know, sometimes you go to read an article, and instead of finding something to read, you get this. Just some loud audio and video that auto-plays and disrupts your whole reading vibe. Well, now, don't worry about it because we have autoplay blocking in Safari.
Една од главните, како што велат од Apple, замерки кои ги имале корисниците, тоа биле сите оние видеа кои се пуштале без одобрување од корисникот. Тука се однесува и новата карактеристика која воспоставува Apple, тоа е блокирање на видеата кои се вклучуваат самостојно и уште една новост, тоа е паметната превенција за следење која ќе биде интегрирана и воспоставена во новата верзија на Safari.
Segregate the cross-site scripting data, put it away, so now your privacy, your browsing history is your own. It's not about blocking ads. The web behaves as it always did, but your privacy is protected. Next, I want to talk about some refinements to Mail, and it starts with search. So in addition to providing searches based on recency, Search in mail is now using Spotlight to identify your top hit. So the message you're looking for is almost always right there at the top. And if you're into using mail in full screen, well, now we support split view for your compose window. It's a great way to compose mail.
Подобрувања ќе има и во делот на мејл апликацијата која нуди Mac оперативниот систем. До 35% помалку простор ќе зафаќаат сите оние мејлови кои ќе ги примате на вашиот Mac компјутер. Подобрувања ќе има и во апликацијата за слики на Mac оперативниот систем. Преку нов начин на прикажување и репродукција на сликите ќе има поголема прегледност преку филтрирањето на сите оние слики кои сте ги зачувале на вашиот компјутер.
We've also improved faces. It recognizes far more faces automatically using advanced convolutional neural networks. And when you put effort into categorizing and naming people, well, that's now synchronized automatically across all your devices. Now, we also have some great enhancements to editing inside of photos. You can see here on the right-hand side, all of your editing tools are arrayed, and there are a bunch of great new ones, including curves, which allows you to fine-tune the color and contrast in your image, and selective color, which lets you modify color in a selective range. And I think you're going to like this one, because if you like to do edits in a pro tool like Pixelmator or Photoshop, well, now when you punch out to that other editing tool, all of your edits automatically synchronize right back to your photo library. Now, Apple pioneered printed books based on projects you construct right inside of the photo application. And now we're opening this up to third parties. They're going to offer some amazing new printing services, full framed wall-mounted photos, and even publishing websites, all based on projects right inside of photos. So those are some quick refinements, but I want to return to the main story now, and that's technology, because we've gone deep on the fundamentals: data, video, and graphics. And when it comes to data, the fundamentals are in the file system. Now, the Mac file system has its roots, actually, HFS, from 30 years ago. Well, a lot has changed since then. We have a lot of flash drives, our storage is 1 billion times larger, and it's time for a more modern file system. So I'm pleased to announce that we're bringing the Apple file system to Mac OS as our new default. Now, APFS is a thoroughly modern file system, 64-bit top to bottom. It's safe and secure with built-in crash protection and native encryption. And it's ultra responsive with modern features like instant file and directory cloning and high performance parallelized metadata operations. Now, what does that really mean in practice? Well, let's take a look at a simple file duplication inside of Sierra. So we're going to go up to the file menu.
Во новиот сегмент на подобрувања кои, односно нови карактеристики кои ќе ги добие оперативниот систем на Mac, доаѓаат и Apple файловите. Тоа е всушност платформа за споделување на файлови преку оперативните системи на Apple, односно преку вашиот iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch или слични продукти. Следната работа која Apple сака да ја представи подобрена и како новост во нивниот палета на производи е и видеото.
And you want your video to look great, preserve all the detail and color, and HEVC does it while saving up to 40% better compression than H.264. Now we're building in software encoder support into High Sierra for all Macs and hardware acceleration of HEVC for the newest Macs. And we're also building it into Pro Tools like Final Cut, Motion, and Compressor. Now I want to return to our main story.
Графичкиот дел, графичките перформанси на новиот Mac оперативен систем ќе биде драстично подобрен со цел да може сите оние корисници да ги излачат максимумот кога доаѓа во прашање сите оние графички интензивни процеси како играње и видео монтажа и уредување.
But we've learned a lot working with developers on their adoption of Metal, and we have a new version to announce today, and you'll never guess what we called it. It's Metal 2. Now, Metal 2 is tremendously
Доаѓа и нова верзија на апликацијата Metal, која ќе се очекува, од Apple се очекува дека ќе го олесни драстично целиот процес на работа на оние кои го користат Mac оперативниот систем. Metal, оригиналната верзија, новата подобрена верзија на апликацијата Metal се вика Metal 2. Верува или не, креативно решение за името.
And we're so excited about the advances in Metal 2 that we've taken the Mac Windows server and put it on top of Metal, accelerating things like mission control, and some of our most challenging system animations are now buttery smooth all the time. Now, Metal is not just about graphics. We're also using it for machine learning. It can now accelerate, yes, we have Metal performance shaders that accelerate all kinds of deep learning algorithms. Now, another piece of Metal news today is Metal for external graphics. So, you know our MacBooks have this tremendous balance of portability and power. But sometimes, for some workflows, you need even more power. You want to take advantage of the incredible Thunderbolt I/O on your MacBook Pros to access external graphics. So we're going to be making this possible in Metal 2. Now we're starting with the developer kit that'll be available today. You can actually order a Thunderbolt 3 enclosure with a high-performance AMD GPU and tune your apps for high-performance external graphics. And then we'll be rolling out support to all of our customers in the months to come. Now, with this graphics power, we're really doubling down on our focus on pro content creation. And that's increasingly about VR content creation. And so we're bringing Metal for VR to High Sierra.
Апликацијата Metal за виртуелна реалност е дел од напорите кои, како што велат од Apple, ги прават за да се воспостави новата VR технологија на виртуелна реалност како стандард во производството на видеоматеријали, но и консумација на останати материјали на компјутерите на Apple.
It's really cool, and you might just be seeing a little bit more from us later today on this topic. So that's a quick look at macOS. Some great technologies.
Mac оперативниот систем донесува, значи, како што веќе кажавме, неколку новости, неколку подобрувања. Новостите се однесуваат во однос на Apple документите, начин на пренесување на фајлови помеѓу екосистемот на Apple. Втората работа е подобрувањето во однос на видео репродукцијата и видео стандардите преку воведување на нов кодек за видео, тоа е H265, кој, како што кажаа од Apple, нуди 40% подобра компресија на видеоматеријалите и со тоа воведува и поголем квалитет во консумацијата на видео содржините. Третата работа на која се осврнаа во Apple беше новата апликација Metal за производство, односно продукција на видеоматеријали и нова верзија од истата апликација. Тоа беше, значи, за новостите околу Mac оперативниот систем.
The iMac has been the gold standard of desktops for many years, but we're going to raise the bar once again. And as always on the iMac, it starts with the display. Because the 4K and 5K Retina iMac displays, with their high resolution, excellent brightness, and P3 color gamut, are the best displays on any desktop. But we're going to make them even better. So these new displays are now going to be 500 nits. That's 43%.
Новите iMac компјутери добиваат подобри дисплеи со 500 нити светлина, што ќе значи 43% посветли, 10 битни подобрувања во однос на начинот на кој се репродуцира сликата и ќе поддржуваат скоро 1 билион бои. Новите iMac компјутери, како што гледаме, ќе добијат и побрзи процесори. Тоа се на 7-та генерација од Intel процесорите. Исто така ќе има подобрен капацитет на меморијата во компјутерите, така што компјутерите iMac ќе започнуваат со 32 гигабајти меморија на 27-инчните модели.
So we're going to now make our Fusion drive standard on all 27-inch configs. And it's also going to be standard on the high-end 21.5-inch config as well. In addition, our SSD options are going to be up to 50% faster and now available.
Подобрување и во однос на меморијата со преку воспоставување на побрзи SSD компоненти во самите компјутери.
Because you can do some cool things like hook up a high-performance RAID array and an external 5K display at the same time. So now let's talk about graphics. And as you heard earlier, we're investing heavily in graphics software technologies like Metal 2.
Подобрување ќе има и во делот на графиката на новите iMac компјутери преку инвестициите кои ги прави Apple. Основниот 21,5-инчен iMac компјутер добива Intel Iris Plus графика со Intel Iris Plus графика 640, што донесува 80% побрза графика, односно побрзо рендерирање на истата. Следниот модел е iMac Retina 4K, кој е исто 21,5-инчен, кој ќе доаѓа со Radeon Pro 555 и 556 графички картички, кои ќе имаат дури до 4 гига VRAM достапен. Перформансите ќе се подобрат според Apple за 3 пати со новиот хардверски додаток.
Now lastly, we have our 27
Последно е најпремиум моделот на iMac Retina 5K, тоа е 27-инчниот компјутер кој ќе дојде со Radeon Pro 570, 575 и 580 верзиите кои ќе имаат дури 8 гигабајти VRAM достапен. Што значи дури до 5.5 терафлопс, тоа е мерка за перформансите на графичките картички.
So that we can see what they can do with virtual reality on the Mac. And I'm really excited that we can give you a demo of some of this amazing work right now. So I'd like to invite up on the stage here from Industrial Light and Magic is Academy Award-winning visual effects artist and Chief Creative Officer John Knoll. John?
John Knoll од Industrial Light and Magic ќе даде демо на тоа како функционира новите графички решенија на подобрените iMac компјутери. Да проследим.
Now, I've always done my art and development on a Mac, so I'm really excited about these new iMacs. I truly love the platform, so I'm especially excited to be able to share some of our VR content created on these new iMacs in Epic's Unreal Engine. I'm joined by Lauren Ridge, an Epic programmer, who will be backstage driving our demo. Working together, we can work in real time to create an immersive experience as we step inside the Star Wars universe. Now, Lauren's backstage so we can show you the environment around her.
And now, we're going to show you from my perspective. Here we are on the planet Mustafar. Thanks to the native VR support in macOS High Sierra, I can use Unreal Engine's editor to create content inside the VR experience. And for the first time, it's all powered by my Mac. On my left motion controller, I have my radial menu, which acts as my artist palette. And on the right, I have the laser I use to interact with the world. I have some fire here, so let's try that out.
All right, very nice. Let's do some set dressing. What do you have?
Let's see, let me open my content browser. It has all the assets I need to dress my scene. I think I saw a good landing spot for an Imperial shuttle over here. So let's bring one of
Во моментот се представува напредната технологија на виртуелна реалност која ќе биде една веројатно од главните одлики на новите iMac компјутери, кои во овој момент изгледа како да се обидуваат да стигнат конкуренцијата, особено доколку обратиме внимание на начинот на кој виртуелната реалност веќе се практикува, особено во мобилната технологија, па и во десктоп компјутерите. Само лани ќе ве потсетам дека во настанот кој го организираше Google, каде што беа представени новите Google Pixel телефони, виртуелната реалност доби голем дел од тоа шоу со цел да се представат сите способности на самиот телефон. За разлика од Pixel, кај iPhone се уште не сме виделе такво нешто, но после ова денеска што го гледаме, секако дека може да се очекува такво решение технолошко да дојде на iPhone-от и новиот iPhone 8 или веќе 7S, како и да ќе биде наречен, да има подобрени перформанси, односно да има подобрени карактеристики и да дојде со оваа новост на виртуелна реалност, која се чини дека на некој начин и станува своевиден тренд во технолошкиот свет на игри, особено и на друг вид на аудиовизуелни дела.
Whoa. I'm glad he didn't see me there.
Wouldn't be so sure about that. All right, actually, let's stop it right there.
That was a close one.
Well, it's really nice to see an iMac rendering this level of graphics in VR mode at a smooth 90 frames a second. Really great. All right, thank you, Lauren. Metal 2 and Epic's Unreal Engine will enable the next generation of storytellers. We use this technology in our filmmaking every day for virtual set scouting, for art direction and shot design.
Виртуелната реалност е дел и од продукцијата на нови филмови, како што кажува и самиот Џон Кол од Industrial Light and Magic. Технологијата на VR е нешто што се употребува во филмската индустрија веќе подолго време, особено при создавањето на филмови кои се случуваат во виртуелна околина. Веројатно околу деталите за начинот на кој виртуелната реалност ќе биде инкорпорирана во новите iMac компјутери ќе треба да видиме во карактеристиките кои ќе ги добиеме на веб страницата на Apple. Значи, новите Mac компјутери доаѓаат со подобар дисплеј, побрзи процесори, појака меморија и капацитет на складирање, побрза меморија, односно побрзо читање преку SSD, а ова се и цените кои ќе ги бидат како почетни на новиот iMac Retina. Веројатно некој попуст има на iMac Retina компјутерот во 4K. А денеска не само iMac, туку и лаптопите на Mac ќе бидат, на Apple Mac лаптопите ќе бидат подобрени. Преку пренос, како што веќе кажавме и на почетокот, на нов процесор, поголема меморија и побрза меморија и подобрување во однос на графичкиот дел. Ова се и цените на екранот за Америка во долари. Почетната цена на MacBook останува 1299, додека MacBook Pro исто така со попуст доаѓа до 1299 долари. Тоа се 7-те компјутери кои ги нуди Apple во десктоп и лаптоп варијантата. Достапни од денеска, сепак ова е за Америка, што се однесува до пазарот во Македонија, истите ќе треба да ги почекаме некое време.
To ensure that these new Macs are free of harmful chemicals, very energy efficient, and highly recyclable. So that's everything we're updating today. But it's not actually everything we want to show you today. Now, the iMac line has incredible breadth. It spans from an entry-level system that's perfect for use at home or in a school, all the way up through that powerhouse 27-inch model, which allows professional customers to create amazing things every day. But that said, there's another class of pro users who would love to be able to take advantage of the iMac's display and design, but they need workstation-class performance that can't possibly fit into an all-in-one. Well, we wanted to challenge that assumption, and so we've been working really hard to see just how far we can push the iMac. Now, this isn't going to be shipping until the end of the year, but I'm really excited to be able to give you a sneak peek at what we've been up to. And here it is.
Така, значи, според овој sneak peek, како што велат, или порано представување, ќе видиме нов iMac Pro компјутер, кој доаѓа веројатно во црна боја наспроти металик боите кои се сега достапни. Ќе доаѓа и со 5K дисплеј и според Apple ова е најубавиот iMac кој некогаш бил производен. Исто така не само најубав, туку и моќен Mac компјутер некогаш, дали тоа станува збор за лаптоп или десктоп компјутер. Но сето ова ќе го видиме некаде кон крајот на годината, како што вели и како што велат и самите од Apple. Веројатно ќе може да се очекува истиот да биде представен заедно со новиот Apple, iPod и iPad серијал на уреди, односно линија на уреди кои ќе бидат представени некаде во почетокот на октомври или крајот на септември, барем според очекувањата кои се во технолошкиот свет.
So the iMac Pro is going to ship with an 8-core Xeon processor.
Новиот iMac Pro ќе доаѓа со 8-јадрен Xenon процесор и исто така со 10-јадрен Xenon процесор. Значи ќе има две варијанти. И уште една верзија со дури 18-јадрен процесор. Тоа мора да се признае на Apple нешто сосема ново, бидејќи, како што веројатно знаете, најмоćниот процесор кој досега е направен, а не во производство на Apple, доаѓа токму од AMD со 10 јадра. Новиот iMac Pro ќе има и Radeon Vega графика со 16 гигабајти VRAM. Значи ова ќе биде на еден начин, компјутерот ќе биде на некој начин звер во однос на технолошките способности кои ќе ги има како уред. Како што кажа и самите представници на Apple, ова нешто било направено во координација со сите оние кои имаат големи побарувања од перформансите на компјутерот.
This is a really big deal for things like machine learning development. So the iMac Pro, as you can see, is going to be a monster when it comes to graphics, but we didn't want to stop there either. So we're going to let you configure it with up to 128 gigabytes of ECC memory. That's twice what you can do in a standard 27-inch iMac. And up to 4 terabytes of 3 gigabyte per second SSD. Now, the iMac Pro is also going to have a full complement of high-performance I/O, including 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and for the first time ever in any Mac, built-in 10 gigabit Ethernet. And with all that cutting-edge I/O, you can do some pretty amazing things. Like you can hook up 2 5K displays and 2 high-performance RAID arrays. No iMac before could ever do that. And when you combine that with the internal display, that means the iMac Pro can drive up to 44 million pixels. There's so much more we don't even have time to get into. Things like a 1080p FaceTime camera, a user-configurable VESA mount option, 2 times wider AVX instructions, and even a UHS-2 SD card slot. So with all these high-performance technologies and our incredible 5K display, this iMac Pro is going to be an awesome workstation for things like real-time 3D rendering, high frame rate immersive VR, machine learning development, and with all those cores and all that memory, super fast code compiling. Now, speaking of workstations, we wanted to compare the starting configuration of the iMac Pro to what's on the market. And so if you were to go out and build a comparably spec system today, it would cost over $7,000. And keep in mind, that's a system that doesn't have our best-in-class 5K display, doesn't have the iMac Pro's incredible all-in-one design, and it obviously doesn't run Mac OS. Well, this is the starting configuration of the iMac Pro, and we're going to price it at just $49.99.
Почетната цена на новиот iMac Pro ќе биде $4,990. Тоа се некои 4.600 евра, што е доста висока сума за македонски услови. Но, веројатно, овој компјутер е повеќе насочен кон сите оние корпорации и компании кои имаат навистина потреба од перформанси и брзина и начинот на кој Apple ги овозможува функционирањето на големите компании. Знаеме дека токму iMac компјутерите се честопати прв избор на големите компании за нивните работни простори. Четвртата работа која ќе видиме денеска се однесува на iOS оперативниот систем, нешто што сите го чекаа. Нормално Тимко ќе каже дека и ова е најдобриот оперативен систем за мобилни телефони во светот. Некој не би се согласил, особено оние што користат Android, но 86% од вкупниот број на iPhone корисници, iPad и iPod корисници се префрлиле веќе на iOS 10. За разлика од само 7% кои се префрлиле на Android 7, како што сака Тим Кук да се пофали во ова излагање.
And be confident that there's customers there for them. Now today, we're going to take the world's best and most advanced mobile operating system and turn it up to 11. And I'd like to invite Craig back to take you through it. Craig.
Thank you, Tim. Hello again. Let's talk about iOS 11. It's a big one. Now, we have a big focus on technologies in iOS 11, but also some really big features. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to start with messages. Now, you all know in iOS 10, we added iMessage app.
Новостите во однос на подобрувањето во новиот iOS оперативен систем ќе се однесуваат во делот на пораките преку редизајнирано мени за користење на овие.
Because now, with your iMessages in iCloud, when you sign in to another new device, well, all of your conversations are automatically synchronized.
Преку пораки на iCloud, сите пораки кои се испраќаат во рамки на оперативниот систем на Apple и на Apple екосистемот ќе бидат достапни на повеќе уреди. На овој начин ќе има повеќе место за сите фајлови кои ги користат корисниците и дополнително ќе има подобра енкрипција на истите.
Next, Apple Pay.
Новости ќе има и во однос на познатиот веќе Apple Pay систем, кој според Apple е број 1 контаклес систем за плаќање, тоа е систем за плаќање без пари, односно без допир. И го користат повеќе од 55% од сите оние трговци во Америка.
There was one final frontier we wanted to conquer, and that's Apple Pay for person-to-person payments.
Една од новостите кои доаѓа во Apple Pay на iOS 11 оперативниот систем е плаќањето помеѓу физички лица. На тој начин ќе може да се праќаат и да се примаат пари преку ова Apple Pay апликација. Значи, доколку имате некој пријател кој исто така има iPhone или Apple уред кој поддржува Apple Pay, преку ова надградба и оваа новост ќе може да му испратите пари на неговата сметка.
Goes into your Apple Pay cash card. And from there, well, you can send it on to friends and family if you're charitable. You can make Apple Pay purchases at retail or on the web. And of course, you can pull it out and transfer it to your bank. And it's available across all these iOS devices and Apple Watch too. Thank you. So next, let's turn to Siri.
Следно подобрување за кое ќе стане збор на овој пренос, на овој настан е токму Siri. Подобрувањата доаѓаат во однос на функционирањето на самата Siri, која како што кажуваат и од Apple е достапна на многу јазици. Преку учење на изразите, преку учење на самите фрази, новата Siri ќе има подобрени гласовни способности, но не само женски, ќе има и машки вокали кои ќе бидат подеднакво добри. Исто така ќе има и подобрен визуелно представување со многу повеќе резултати и вграден превод кој е во бета. Тоа значи ќе можете да дадете команда со која ќе прашате како се вика одреден збор или цела реченица во друг јазик и Siri сега со новите способности ќе може да преведува од англиски на кинески, француски, германски, италијански и шпански за сега. Со повеќе јазици кои ќе доаѓаат во текот на наредните месеци.
Siri Kit, and Siri Kit can now do more than ever in iOS 11. So now you can do task management by using Siri to make tasks in OmniFocus or Things, take notes in Evernote, do banking in City Mobile, or even bring up a QR code in WeChat. Now, Siri isn't just a voice assistant, because with Siri Intelligence, Siri not only understands your voice, it understands the context, it understands your interests, it understands how you use your device, and this allows it to ultimately understand what you want next. Now, we've all experienced this where Siri can help us predict what apps we might want to use next, give us a time to leave notification based on our calendar and where we are, help us respond to a text message. In iOS 11, Siri uses on-device learning to understand more about topics of interest to us. So it can actually suggest topics we might be interested in learning about in news. It can help us respond with our location for getting to an appointment to someone.
Преку користењето на податоците кои се достапни во вашиот телефон, односно iPhone уред или Apple или iPod Touch, а сега доаѓа Siri и на сите уреди, значи преку користење на податоците на вашите уреди, Siri ќе може да дава препораки за начинот на кој вие ги читате вашите вести или организирате патување. Следна работа е камерата, која се очекува да биде подобрена во новиот оперативен систем на Apple, односно на iPhone iOS 11, а во новата камера доаѓа и подобрениот High Efficiency Video Coding, тоест HEVC кодек, кој дава дури 2 пати подобра компресија на видеата кои се снимани со камерата на iPhone-ите. Истата технологија ќе биде Истата технологија ќе биде употребена и на сликите, со што JPEG форматот на сликите ќе биде заменет со формат кој ќе понуди два пати подобра компресија на сликите.
And of course, you can still share completely compatibly with others. Now, with the iPhone 7 Plus, we love taking these beautiful portrait photos, and now with iOS 11, we can take low light photographs using optical image stabilization, true tone flash, HDR, delivers incredible image quality. And we're taking the depth information that we can capture with two cameras and exposing it to developers with a new depth API, which has allowed them to do incredibly fun and artistic photos like this using the depth API. Now, when you're done taking your photos, you go to enjoy them in the Photos app. And one of the ways I love enjoying them is with the Memories feature, because Memories is able to scan my library and find all kinds of fun events, and now it can do more than ever. It uses machine learning to identify things like sporting events, even weddings, anniversaries, memories of your babies. It's really great. And when you go to play those back, you can see them not just in normal landscape orientation, but now watch them in portrait, taking full advantage of the height of your display. Now, when it comes to live photos, we have some great enhancements as well. So you can now trim your live photos, the video around the still. You can mark any part of the video as your key photo.
Подобрувања ќе дојдат и во однос на функционалностите кои ги нуди апликацијата за слики. Редизајн ќе добие и контрол центарот на iOS оперативниот систем, а како тоа ќе изгледа ќе видиме преку демо.
Let's take our first live look at iOS 11. Now I'm going to just bring up Control Center as always. And what you'll notice is Control Center is now a single page. Packs all the features into a single page.
Новиот контрол центар е само една страна преку подобра организација на способностите кои ги нудеше и до сега.
But it provides greater depth because with 3D touch in on a slider like this and get access to more controls. And this allows us to pack lots of capabilities really easily into the design. So you see, we have our wireless controls. Well, I could just tap on airplane mode, but if I 3D touch on the platter, I get access to even more features.
Преку користењето на 3D Touch технологијата која ја воспостави Apple и во новиот iPhone 7, ќе може да добиете повеќе способности со кликање и задржување на овие функционалности на новиот контролен центар, кој сега е, како што кажа и од Apple, една страна. Има подобрување и во однос на нотификациите или известувањата кои се појавуваат на почетната страна.
I can actually now swipe back down. I'm actually on my lock screen seeing those notifications, but I can get at all my other notifications just by scrolling up like that. It's a really great unification, and you still have access, of course, to your widgets on the left and your camera on the right. Now, let's take a look at photos. These beautiful portrait photos, but also these great live photos. And you know, live photos capture a still, but then also a bunch of video automatically captured around it, and sometimes the best shot wasn't the still. Well, now we can go into edit mode. We could trim this video if we want, but we also can capture just the frame we want and make that our key photo. Now, we can do other really fun things with live photos. Now, here's one great shot, this girl blowing a bubble, but wouldn't it be great if she could just keep blowing that bubble? Well, now she can. We actually use computer vision to compute a seamless loop around this live photo. It's really fun. And we have another great effect. So here's a fun jump in the pool, but wouldn't it be better if it bounced? There it is. Now, we can really do some artistic things with live photos as well. So you see, this is a shot where we have still landscape, but then this movement in the water. Now, if you wanted to capture this kind of motion, traditionally you'd have to get a tripod and figure out how to configure a long exposure on your high-end camera. But now, you can actually just go into the effects here and select long exposure and check it out. It's really gorgeous. Now, let's take a quick look at memories, because you see, memories can now capture things like activities, like scuba diving, can spot your anniversaries, these really touching memories of your children growing up, and most importantly, your pets. Let's play a movie about these pets. And what we'll see is that we play them, of course, traditionally here in landscape, which is a great way to watch video. And of course, Memories is using computer vision to actually identify photos of your pet and pick the best scenes. Now what's great is I can also rotate my phone now into portrait, and it automatically reformats to take full advantage of the height of the display. And that's a quick look at Memories. Now, with Memories, we're using machine learning to help learn more about you and what you're interested in by looking at your photo library. But now in iOS 11, Siri does so much more in learning how you're using your device. So for instance, if I'm in
Подобрување има и во начинот на кој, како што веќе кажавме, функционира Siri.
Reykjavik is a nice location. Well, now Siri actually on my device spots my interest. So when I go, let's say, into news, Siri automatically surfaces for me a recommendation that I might be interested in news about Iceland. I can just tap in and heart this one like this. And if I tap into a particular article, we can see it mentions certain locations in Iceland. I think this one is called Snæfellsnes. I hope it's okay with anyone who speaks Icelandic. But what's great is now Siri is learning this vocabulary, knows it might be something I'm going to use in my communication in the future. So when I go into messages and start typing a message, and let's say I start typing Reykjavik, well, check it out. It learns that Reykjavik is probably a word I might type. And what about, there it is, Snæfellsnes. Pretty awesome. Now, let's take a look at stickers, because you notice now, right on the bottom of the display, we have access to all my sticker packs. I can tap in on the bottom here to my Star Wars sticker pack. I can tap and slide, say select music, and we now have Apple Pay right here as a messages app. But what's so cool is if I receive a message saying that I owe someone money, well, you notice the QuickType keyboard automatically surfaces Apple Pay as an option and picks the amount out as what I might want to pay. I can just tap the pay button, send, and authenticate with my fingerprint, and just like that, I've paid with Apple Pay. And that is a quick demo.
Поедноставен е и начинот на плаќање преку Apple Pay, преку паметното анализирање на пораките. Подобрување ќе има и во мапите на iOS 11, а зашто станува збор ќе видиме во продолжение.
So we have detailed floor plans now of malls with place cards, directory and search, and we let you browse by floor. Now we're going to be supporting malls in all of these cities out the
Новите Apple мапи ќе може да ги добратат поголемо внимание во однос на сите оние локации кои се во трговските центри, но само во Америка, и тоа од кат до кат ќе може да добиваат корисниците информации за трговските ланци кои се наоѓаат таму. Исто така и во аеродромите, но само во одреден број на градови, кои ќе се прошируваат секако, останува ова само во Америка.
Now, we know in addition to navigation, people like to do more with their phones sometimes while driving, and our safest solution for doing this is CarPlay. Let you keep your eyes on the road while you're doing things like asking Siri to play music. Well, we wanted to bring this same level of safety to everyone who maybe doesn't have one of the 200 models of car that currently support CarPlay. And we're building on the Do Not Disturb with a new feature we call Do Not Disturb While Driving. And it's all about keeping your eyes on the road. When you're driving, you don't need to be responding to these kinds of messages. In fact, you don't need to see them. So now, When you install iOS 11, we're going to use Bluetooth to understand if you're connected to a car, or even if you don't have Bluetooth, we're going to use Wi-Fi Doppler effect to measure that you're moving in a car. And when you finish that first drive, we're going to suggest, hey, how about we activate Do Not Disturb while driving? And when we do, instead of seeing all those notifications, we have this new user interface for you. Now, if you're tempted and you try to turn on your phone, you're actually going to receive this little reminder that you're not receiving notifications while you're driving. But of course, you might be sitting in the back seat, in which case you can tell us, I'm not driving, and you can get through. But what if you are driving and someone sends you a message? Well, they can now get an automatic response saying, I'll see your message when I get where I'm going. And you can also enable select people to break through. If it's especially urgent, you can have the peace of mind that you can get contacted. They can reply urgent, and that message will go through. We think this is going to be a real important step in safety in the car. Next up, HomeKit. So HomeKit provides a secure and private way to automate all of your devices, your home accessories. And you can do it right inside the Home app and control them here. And also, of course, use your voice with Siri. Now, almost all the major accessory makers are providing great HomeKit accessories across all of these categories, from security cameras and door locks to lights and fans. But there's one category really close to our heart that we wanted to add to HomeKit, and that's speakers. So, you'll now be able to configure your speakers inside of HomeKit and access them via our new AirPlay 2 protocol. It builds multi-room audio in throughout iOS. So you can play music to select speakers throughout your home, right from the Music app. And with Apple Music, we have a new feature called Share It Up Next. So if you have a friend over and you have a playlist going, and maybe your friend wants to contribute to that playlist, well, they can do that without interrupting the music. You all can pile into that party playlist. Now, all these speaker makers have announced upcoming support for AirPlay 2, but of course, many of us already own a great AirPlay 2 compatible speaker, and those are the ones connected to our Apple TV, because now your Apple TV can be played to from your iPhone or iOS device and Mac anywhere in the home. And of course, if you turn on your Apple TV, it can control playback home-wide, including using Siri. And we're providing a great developer API, so third-party audio apps in iOS can all get in on the multi-room audio fun. Next is Apple Music. Now, last fall, we introduced an all-new design for Apple Music, which brought greater clarity and simplicity to the Apple Music experience. And we now have 27 million customers who are really enjoying the curation.
Така, подобрувањата ќе се однесуваат во новиот iOS оперативен систем, ќе се однесуваат во однос на автоматизирањето на домот и во однос на Apple Music. Преку новостите на Apple Music апликацијата полесно ќе може да се користат сите музички албуми, музички изведби кои се наоѓаат на вашиот клауд или на вашиот телефон.
They share, or whether all the music they share, they want to make available to their other friends. Now, for developers, we're also providing a new API, Music Kit, for Apple Music. This allows apps full access to the Apple Music service, both on device and from your cloud service. And you can do a tremendous amount with this. Now, Nike has done great exercise playlists using the full Apple Music catalog. With Anchor, anyone can be a DJ using all 40 million songs. Can automatically add songs to your collection. For iOS 11 is about the App Store. Now, to give you the big news with the App Store, I'd like to hand it off to Phil Schiller. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Well, good morning. I am so excited to be able to talk to you this morning about the App Store. The App Store is turning 9 years old and it is going so well. There are 500 million weekly visitors to the App Store who come to see your amazing apps and to download them. They have now downloaded over 180 billion apps to date. That's incredible. That does not include auto re-downloads and updates.
Новостите доаѓаат и во однос на Apple App Store-от, кој според Apple покажува доста добри резултати во однос на доwnloadирањето на апликации и на останати. Вкупно 70 билиони долари биле платени на девелоперите од продавањето на апликациите во рамки на Apple Play.
Pokemon Go is from Niantic. It was one of the big hits from last year, and there have been a lot of big hits last year from big developers and indie developers alike. And together, the developers at Apple, we've made this the best app platform in the world. So thank you. Yes. Thank you for the incredible apps you make that we and our customers all love. It's not by chance that the App Store has become such a great place. From the beginning, we've had two very important goals: to make the App Store a trusted continue to work really hard at that. Over the last year, the team's done a lot of great things to make the App Store an even better store for all of us. There's many things we can talk about, but I think one stands head and shoulders above the rest: faster app review times. Yeah. I'm sure you're well aware that the majority of apps are all now reviewed in under 24 hours, many in just 1 to 2 hours. The team is going to keep working hard at that. And we have a lot more coming for the remainder of the year. I've highlighted a bunch of things here. I'll just point out one of them. You can read some of your favorite things up there. A big request from developers is called phased releases. That when you, woo for phased releases, come on. Phased releases means when you submit an app, you can choose if you want it to be phased over time so it doesn't hit your infrastructure all at once, and you can see how customers are responding to that update. So it's really a great feature for you to take advantage of. And there are a lot of things coming this year, but there is one that is incredibly gigantic. And that is, we're going to do something that we've never done before in the 9 years of the App Store. We're going to completely redesign it.
Во новиот iOS 11 доаѓа комплетен редизајн на Apple App Store-от, што ќе донесе новиот изглед и функционалности. Ќе видиме сега во продолжение.
Started downloading apps when you used the App Store, and it was so much fun to go in every single day and discover the new apps that were appearing. I mean, that's an amazing feeling. And we're bringing that back again with this brand new tab called Today, a whole new way to discover apps. It's a place where we can feature the apps we all love and the stories about the developers who created them. It's going to be such a great place for customers to discover your apps every single day. There's another new tab, Games. Games, the biggest area of the App Store, has its own dedicated space now. So for all of us who love gaming and finding the best featured games of the day and seeing charts about gaming, this is now a place to go to experience all that's happening with games. And not only can we feature games, but for the first time in the App Store, we can feature in-app purchases as well. A big part of your business is now there in the App Store, so the next time you have a brand new level, you have a brand new character, customers can see them right in the App Store and click on them and start the process to get them right away. And since games have their own tab, now apps have their own tab. This is everything that we love about apps besides games, with dedicated features and charts all there for customers to enjoy. And every app and every game, of course, has its own product page in the store. These are more beautiful than ever, more engaging with incredible videos. You're going to love all the features on your product pages. And there's sessions here at WWDC to learn how to take advantage of all those great new app page features. But these are just some of the new things in the all-new App Store. The new Today tab, new Games tab, new Apps tab, and would love to show it to you live for the very first time. So please welcome Ann Ty, Product Marketing Manager for the App Store, to the stage. Ann?
Новите функционалности на Apple App Store во iOS оперативните системи ќе ги видиме сега директно преку демо. Па да видиме како ќе изгледа и функционира новиот редизајниран App Store.
Today tab, the new front of the App Store that updates every day. The first thing I see is our top story. The world premiere of Monument Valley 2 is finally here. Let's check it out by tapping on the card. This opens a story view where we can learn more about the game and what makes it so great. Looks like this is going to be even more beautiful than the first. I can watch videos that show me what the gameplay is like. And here's a cool quote from Dan Gray at Us2 Games about what inspired them. I can share the story with a friend, and what's incredible is that we can actually all download this today, only on the App Store. Let's see what else is happening today. What have we got here? Oh, here's a how-to guide about Visco. I use this app all the time. Let's check it out. This is packed full of useful tips. So even if you have an app already, you still might learn something new. Like, I didn't know you could use it to make animated GIFs or GIFs. Anyway, you can make them. I just scroll back up and pull down on the card, and I'm back in the feed. Every day there's a new app of the day, and a new game of the day, and the daily list. These are great because they're focused on a theme or a goal, like meditation. I've actually been trying some of these out to get ready for this, and it's totally working. If I'm busy and miss a day, I can scroll down and see stories from earlier in the week. So that's the Today tab. If I only want to see games, now I can go to the new Games tab. This is huge. Let's check it out. Up at the top, I can see the biggest new releases or just what the game editors are playing this week. If I scroll down, I can watch a whole bunch of game videos. And it's not just previews, but also tips and gameplay videos by editors too. If I scroll down, I can see charts that only feature games, so it's really easy to see what the most popular games are separate from apps. And now I can browse by game categories too. This page is just packed full of recommendations. This artsy game looks fun. Let's check it out. I'm going to tap on the icon, and it opens up a redesigned app page. It's more beautiful and more useful. I can watch more videos that show me how fun this is, and this badge at the top tells me it was named Editor's Choice. If I scroll down, I can see ratings and reviews front and center, so I can see what other customers think before making a choice. Like this review. It tells me this game is great for killing time. Thanks, Furious Potato Face. For all the incredible apps on the store, there's a new tab too, the Apps tab. Let's go there. It shares the same great design as the Games tab, but with a focus just on apps. So that was just the first day on the new App Store. Now you can see why we're so excited to have a beautiful new place to share apps and games we love with you. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you, Anne. So that's your first glimpse of an entirely new app store. We hope you love it. We hope customers love it. They visit it every single day to download your incredible apps. And that's it for the App Store. Back to you, Craig.
Thank you, Phil.
Тоа се карактеристиките на новата редизајнирана App Store на iOS 11. Metal 2 и видео напредокот кој го спомнавме претходно во однос на графичкиот дел доаѓа и на iOS оперативна система.
Predictive Siri watch face. We use it on the iPad for palm rejection when you're writing with Apple Pencil. Of course, we use it to extend your battery life by predicting how you're going to use your device. And you've seen it throughout photos with memories and face recognition. Well, now for all of you developers, we want to make powerful machine learning easy for you to incorporate in your apps. And we're doing it via a set of new APIs. Starts with the Vision API, which provides face tracking, face detection, landmarks, all of these core features we use inside of our apps. And a natural language API that provides capabilities like tokenization and named entity recognition. Now, these are all built on Core ML. And Core ML provides high-performance implementations of deep neural networks, recurrent neural networks, convolutional neural networks, support vector machines, and they allow you to take models that you've built with any of these popular third-party tools, and using our machine learning model converter, execute them with tremendous performance on device. That gives you all the data privacy benefits and all of the carefully tuned compatibility with all of our platforms. And the performance really is incredible. You look at this benchmark, it's called Inception V3. It's a popular photo recognition benchmark. iPhone is 6 times faster than Google Pixel and the Samsung S8 using Core ML. Next, I'd like to turn to AR. Now, with multi-touch, we've really changed the way that you interact with the world on the screen of your iPhone. And with the camera, we've allowed you to capture the world around you. But when you bring these things together, the results can actually be quite profound. Now, it's called augmented reality, and we have a new core technology called ARKit to bring it to all of you. And I'd like to show it to you in a demo now. So, we've all seen a lot of carefully edited vision videos on this topic recently, but in this case, I'd like to show you something for real. So what we see here is an iPhone that's using its camera, but using computer vision, it's actually able to identify surfaces, such as this table, and I can actually just add an object. This is a developer application, a test application that you'll all be getting code for that allows you to do these things. Now, this is just a virtual object on this table. Now, got some steam in there coming off the cup. Now, I can add other objects to the scene, and these things can actually interact. Let's add a lamp. And I want you to watch when I turn the lamp on the dynamic shadows here. I'm going to move the cup and watch how the shadow moves in relationship to the light here. It's really pretty incredible. Now, I can add additional objects. Let's add a vase to this scene. I mean, isn't that just incredible? You guys are actually in the shot here with these objects all in augmented reality. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of the technology involved. It's really pretty incredible. Now, how do we do it? Well, ARKit provides fast and stable motion tracking, and it uses all of the sensors and the camera on your device to do this. It actually finds planes like floors and tables. It's able to estimate ambient light, which helps us with the rendering and also helps with scale. You notice that cup hit the table looking the size of a cup, not the size of an elephant. And we provide integration into all kinds of third-party frameworks to help you with your rendering. Now, the implementation is possible because we're able to take advantage of the awesome hardware in iOS devices, the cameras, the high-performance CPU and GPU, and the motion sensors. And when you bring the software together with these devices, we actually have hundreds of millions of iPhones and iPads that are going to be capable of AR. And in fact, that's going to make overnight ARKit the largest AR platform in the world. We've had some third parties in to take a look at ARKit, and they are totally excited, and we are just blown away by what they've been able to accomplish. IKEA, of course, is placing furniture everywhere, and it's really super awesome. But check this out, what you can do with Batman Lego. I mean, how fun is this? Right on the table, a Lego with a live Lego, Batman, and you can explode the Lego like you could never do in the real world, pan around it, and interact with Batman right there. It's really awesome. And then Pokemon Go. Well, we've all seen it before, but check it out with ARKit. The Pokemon is so real. He's right there on the ground. As the ball bounces, it actually bounces right there in the real environment. It's AR like you've never seen it before. Now, there's one of these that I think you just really need to see live. Now, Wingnut AR is director Peter Jackson's new production company. It's dedicated to producing AR content. We all know Peter Jackson from his incredible cinematic work on movies like the Lord of the Rings series, but he's now really excited about AR. And to show you what he has in the works, I'm thrilled to introduce Wingnut AR's creative director, Alistair Cool. Alistair.
Thanks, Greg. We're really excited to share an exclusive.
Така, почитувани гледачи, тоа беа едни од главните поенти од денешниот технолошки настан на Apple. Сега станува збор, значи, за augmented reality или виртуелната реалност, која Apple ја представува како дел од новиот iOS 11 софтвер кој ќе овозможи на сите оние развивачи на апликации со помош на камерата да воспостават виртуелни или непостоечки објекти во рамки на кадарот кој кој се снима со камерата. Сето тоа во живо, значи без дополнителни ефекти од постпродукција, сето тоа ќе оди, како што рековме, во живо. Тоа е една од веројатно главните новости на новиот iOS оперативен систем покрај редизајнираниот контролен центар за кој стана збор пред малку и подобрените можности на Siri. Тоа се новостите, значи видовме нов софтвер за паметниот часовник, нов Mac оперативен систем, дури 7 нови Mac компјутери и видовме, значи, оперативен систем за iPhone, односно iOS оперативен систем за таблетите, iPod-ите и iPhone-ите на Apple. Веројатно тука некаде и ќе го завршиме овој пренос, главните теми беа веќе опфатени. Околу 1 час и 40 на минути веќе трае представувањето, а сега во продолжение што следува се веројатно помалку важни работи за обичните гледачи, а повеќе за оние кои се девелопери или да речеме програмери на апликации. Јас ви благодарам што во изминатиот час 40 минути одлучивте да гледате НТВ-МК. Секако ние ќе имаме повторно ваков пренос кога ќе биде представен новиот iPhone некаде во септември, а во меѓувреме следете со преносите и на нашата Facebook страница facebook.com/NTVMK, на twitter.com/NTVMK, youtube.com/NTVMK и главниот портал ntv.mk. Јас сум Никола Станков. Во изминатите часи 40 минути коментиравме заедно околу сите новости кои се важни за технолошкиот свет и важни за сите оние фанови на технологијата. Благодарам на вниманието. Остануваме уште некоја минута со преносот и потоа се одјавуваме. Пријатно.
So what do you think? So those are some of the major features in iOS 11. Of course, there's much more than we have time to talk about today, but I want to highlight some features of special interest to our customers in China, like QR code support integrated right into the main camera, accessible from the lock screen. Super useful for customers in China. So that's our update for iOS 11. I'm going to turn it back to Tim. Thank you.
That's right. iOS 11 is absolutely jam-packed with great features, and I can't wait for you to get your hands on the new App Store and AR kit. Number 5, an important part of the iOS story is, of course, iPad. iPad has completely changed the way we work, play, teach, learn, and create. It's truly a magical piece of glass that transforms into anything you want. We've been pushing the boundaries on iPad, and today we're going to push them further than ever before. And to tell you all about it, I'd like to invite up Jaws. Jaws?
Thank you, Tim. And good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to talk to you today about iPad Pro. When we first introduced iPad Pro just 18 months ago, it completely redefined what you could do with your iPad. Along with your incredible apps, it allowed our users to do really amazing things. From professional design and illustration, to fashion, to architecture, to engineering, and so much more. We're really excited about what can be real in your world today with iPad Pro. Well, and as you know, there's two models to iPad Pro today. There's a 13-inch and a 9.7-inch. And the 9.7-inch is our most popular model. It has a screen large enough to get your work done, but it's in a thin and light enough package that allows you to take it with you everywhere you go. Well, today we're going to introduce an all-new iPad Pro. It's going to take everything you love about the 9.7-inch and give you a whole lot more to love. Let's take a look. This is a new iPad Pro. It's the first iPad Pro with a larger 10.5-inch Retina display. Now, why 10.5-inch? Well, for one, it's a lot larger. It's 20% larger than a 9.7-inch. But we are able to reduce the borders by nearly 40%, which allows us to fit it in this incredibly compact design that still weighs just 1 pound. And of course, 10.5-inch also allows us to do some other things. It's the perfect size to allow us to display a full-size on-screen keyboard. It's also the perfect size to allow us to have a full-size smart keyboard as well. And when we deliver the smart keyboard, we're going to have support for more than 30 languages at launch, including Chinese, and for the very first time, a Japanese JIS keyboard. Now, iPad Pro has always had the best displays in the industry, and both sizes are going to get really incredible new displays today. They're the best displays that we've ever made. They're packed with incredible features like True Tone for automatic white balance, P3 wide color gamut for the best color, ultra low reflectivity, the best in the industry, and they're 50% brighter with 600 nits. And this extra brightness and the P3 wide color gamut means that with iOS 11, you'll be able to display HDR video for the first time on an iPad for a really immersive cinematic experience. They're truly awesome displays. But our biggest breakthrough is a feature we call ProMotion. So what is ProMotion? Well, we were able to take our unique hardware and software capabilities and dramatically improve our display performance. Now, typically, up until today, mobile displays have refreshed at 60 hertz, means they update their content 60 times every second. Well, on the new iPad Pro, we've doubled that maximum refresh rate to an incredible 120 hertz. So what does that mean to you? It means that all of your motion content on your screen is going to be smoother, crisper, more responsive. Now, this is something you have to really touch and feel yourself to appreciate because our projection systems just aren't capable of doing those type of refresh rates. But I'll tell you the difference is dramatic. And when you scroll, it's buttery smooth. Now, the higher refresh rate also means that it works even better with the Apple Pencil. We already have the industry-leading performance for drawing and writing with the Apple Pencil, but with ProMotion, it gets even better. It's more responsive, and it reduces our latency to an industry-best 20 milliseconds. So drawing is incredibly fluid and even more natural. You're going to love using the Apple Pencil with the new iPad Pro. Another breakthrough with ProMotion is that these become the first mobile displays to be able to dynamically adjust their refresh rate, depending on what you're looking at. And this is a really big breakthrough for both display quality as well as for power savings. So when you have fast-moving content, they can update quickly. But they can also update slower when you don't need that type of refresh rate. For example, a still image. This allows us to save a lot of energy and give you better battery life. So hopefully you see why these are not just the best displays that we've ever made, but we think they're the most advanced displays on the planet. Next, let's talk about performance. iPad is already best in class for performance, but we're not resting on our laurels. These are the fastest we've ever created. Inside them, they're powered by the A10X Fusion chip. The A10X has a 6-core CPU, 3 high-performance cores, 3 high-efficiency cores, all automatically managed by the Apple Performance Controller. It also has a 12-core GPU. This is a powerhouse. And it delivers 30% faster CPU performance over our already industry-leading A9X and 40% faster graphics performance. Our chip team has done just an amazing job over the years with the performance improvements, and the results have been staggering. They're delivering an industry-leading graphics performance that's more than 500 times the original iPad from just a few years ago. But of course, numbers only tell part of the story. To demonstrate the real-world performance of the A10X and the new iPad Pro, I'd like to invite Ash Hewson of Seraph to give you a demo of their new Pro photo editing app called Affinity Photo. Ash?
Thanks, Jules. So I'm thrilled today to be able to show you the iPad version of Affinity Photo. This is a truly high-end professional photo editing tool, and on this latest iPad Pro, we can achieve levels of performance which are simply unattainable on any other device. And I'm going to try and show you that today by creating a movie poster. I've already set up a few layers. I've kind of got this great background, some stormy sky, I've got a turbulent sea, and this ship. Now, the first thing you'll notice when you're using this is that as you're kind of moving layers around, rotating them, or even just sort of panning and zooming around your work, I'm seeing all of this now at 120 frames a second, so it just feels incredibly smooth. But when you come to edit layers, because of metal, we can achieve performance more than 4 times an i7 quad-core desktop PC. And I'll show you what that means. On this C, I'm going to apply a 12 filter, and look, just with my finger, I can kind of push this sea around. I can even just like flick a wave right over the side of the ship. It's a totally new way to kind of interact with your designs. And actually everything's this fast. So let's say I wanted to set this ship on fire, for example. I've got this fireball here. I can move this over the back of the ship. But to make that look more realistic, I need to apply blend mode. Now normally blend modes are something that takes a lot of trial and error. But now look at this. I can just scrub down here and I get an instant preview of all of the different blend modes. So it makes it really, really easy to select the right blend mode that I want. Now, of course, everything I've done so far, I've done using touch. But with iPad Pro, we have the best stylus that's ever been made. And we can do some great stuff with Apple Pencil too. A really good example of that is our lighting filter. So here I choose lighting. I'll make that a bit bigger. And look, I can actually control now the angle and the tilt of that light using Apple Pencil. There's no latency whatsoever, so it's a really immersive way to work. Now, I said at the start I was creating a movie poster.
Пред самата одјава на овој пренос и напомената дека, иако неочекувано веројатно за многумина, е новиот iPad Pro, веројатно подобрената верзија, кој беше представен, кој се представува во моментов, кој доаѓа секако со подобрена графика, подобрени перформанси, но и многу подобрувања во однос на дисплеот, како што кажа од Apple, новиот iPad Pro доаѓа со верзија на дисплеот која поддржува 120 Hz во секунда refresh rate, што одредува јасноста на дисплеот. Значи дисплеот е малку поголем, подобар во однос на начинот на кој ги прикажува работите, и исто така е подобрувањата се во однос на внатрешните делови на хардверот и на секако софтверскиот дел преку iOS 11. Тука, почитувани гледачи, по 2 часа ќе се одјавиме од овој пренос. Тоа е се за денеска. Ви благодарам што бевте со НТВМК. Целата снимка ќе имате достапна на нашиот YouTube канал youtube.com/NTVMK. Уште некоја минута од преносот и се одјавуваме. Пријатно.
Thank you, Ash. That's amazing performance, again, especially for a device that's so thin and light and a simple 1-pound package you can take with you everywhere you go. And what's also cool is, despite all this performance, the new iPad Pro still delivers the same all-day 10-hour battery life that our iPad users love.